Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to tell you what a menstrual cup is and show you how to use it. So this is a menstrual cup, and basically this is a form of a reusable tampon. So what you're going to do is you're going to put this inside of you, and it sits close to your cervix, and it is going to collect all of the menstrual blood. Then you're going to take it out of your body, you're going to clean it, and it can be put back. It's reusable. So basically, instead of having something inside of your body to absorb it, you are just collecting it and then dumping it. So great thing about these is that, like I said, it does not absorb anything from your body, and you don't have to worry about the chemicals. There is no, I don't know, I think it's called TSS that you can get with tampons, and I didn't really know much about that because I'm not a tampon user. So there's no worry about that with these cups because it isn't absorbing anything, and you don't have to worry about left behind particles from the tampons or the chemicals. And if you're like me, I completely hated tampons. I dreaded them. I would not use them. If you want to see a story that I told in an earlier video, I'll link that below for you guys. But I absolutely hated them, despised them. They hurt. They were horrible. I felt them. And just if you're thinking that, rethink it. Forget everything you know about tampons and putting stuff inside your body. Cups are nowhere near as horrible as that. If you have the right cup for your body, I'm talking soft and firmness, you shouldn't feel it. It shouldn't be horrible to remove. There definitely is a learning curve for inserting it and removing it, but once you get the hang of it, these things are a breeze, and they should be completely comfortable, and sometimes you can even forget you're wearing them because they're so comfortable. So I'm going to show you my two, I am just starting out with cups, so I'm definitely not an expert. I'm just kind of giving you a beginner's guide to beginning with cups. So the two folds I like is the punch down. So you take your finger and you punch down the side of this into the cup. You're going to hold it and see how that's made the end of that much smaller. So you're basically going to hold this, and you're going to take it and you're going to push it up. Once you, I would check to see how high and how low your cervix is, and that's going to depend on how high or low you want your cup to sit. But your cup should be all the way inside. This should not be sticking out. If it is, you probably have a low cervix. You may need a smaller cup. A lot of people cut this off because it sometimes sticks out a little bit, or just in general irritates them. So when you go to remove it, you're going to want to slide your finger up inside. You're going to want to break the seal, and you should have a good seal when it gets up in there, and that's what keeps you from leaking. So you're going to break the seal, and then you're just going to grab here at the bottom, and you're going to just kind of work it out gently. And then once you can get a really good hold of this, if you want, and a good hold of the bottom, and you're just going to pour that out. You're going to dispose of the blood, and you're going to wash that out really good, and then you're going to put it back in. And the great thing about these cups is they're reusable. A lot of companies say you can use them for a year, you can use them for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. I think that most of these cups can be used longer than the companies say. Obviously, you're going to want to be smart about it. If your silicone starts to break down, if there's damages, if there's really bad wear, if it's hard to clean, you obviously want to get a new one. You don't want to take any risk to your body, so be smart about how long you do use them. But I do think a lot of them can be used longer than the company tells you they can be. But the other fold that I like to use, I don't like it as much as the punch down because I just find that it has a bigger insertion point. So you're going to fold it like this and then fold it in half. This is the U or C shape, so you're going to hold it like this. You're going to do the same thing, and like I said, it is a bit bigger, so I'm not a huge fan, but I do find that it does work a little bit better with softer cups, although I I still can get the punch down to work pretty good. So you're just going to get it up in there, and then it is going to open the same, and it's just going to sit in there, and it should be comfortable. If you have a good fit, it should be comfortable. It took me about 5 minutes the first time I was using this to get it properly inserted. I think that if you do get frustrated with it, you know, just keep trying, or try a different cup. Maybe that cup, it doesn't work for you. Maybe the firmness isn't right. Maybe it's too long. And I say definitely check your cervix. I've seen they say if you can go here to your first knuckle, you have a very short cervix. Here it's like a medium, and then your whole finger, it's basically deep. So you want to check that, because depending on what kind of cup you get, some are shorter and some are longer. Mine is actually, I can go pretty much all the way to here most of the time. Sometimes on my period I'm almost to this knuckle, but it's usually pretty, it's pretty deep usually. And I do find that these work, and if you are just somebody like me that was scared and worried, you hated tampons and they just sucked basically, and they do suck. These are nothing like them, and I would totally recommend it, and I'm going to link this menstrual cup below if you want to check it out. It is a rather soft cup, but it has a nice firm ring around the top, and you shouldn't have any trouble with getting it to pop open because of the firmness around the top. But it is a soft cup. I'm somebody that I think that I'm going to like softer cups more than a firm one. But if you want to check this out, I've definitely linked that for you below, and I'll link some other stuff for you below if you're interested in cups. I don't currently have a lot of cup information on my channel. I'm just starting to get into them, but I am finding that I really like them, and I was a complete skeptic to start with. I did not think that this is something I would ever even try. I love cloth pads, and I loved them from the very beginning. I even loved the idea. I never loved this idea. I thought it was completely horrendous, and that I would just hate it, and it was gross and horrible, but I've completely kind of changed my mind on that. I do definitely make sure to, after my cycle, to sterilize this very well, because I do have issues with UTIs and stuff like that I get, which I haven't had much of an issue since switching to reusables, so I do think there's a correlation there. But I do make sure to sterilize these really well. I will boil them after use for about 5 minutes or so, and then I will let them sit, and then I will boil them again before I use. And I only use this one time probably on my cycle. Now granted, my cycle is probably 3 days, and I currently have 3 cups. I have a smart cup, I have a menstrual cup, and I have a lunette. So I could use a different cup pretty much all 3 days, which is really good for me, because I have to make sure that they are very sterile to keep any infections and all of that kind below. And if you want to see future videos on how I keep my cups really clean, just let me know, and I'll do that for you guys. So I hope that you found this helpful. I know I'm at the very beginning of this cup learning stage, but I kind of just wanted to share a little bit with you and let you know that cups are not as scary as they seem. I know maybe you don't believe that, but if you check into it, they really are a very cool thing. So I hope that you have found something in this helpful, and give me feedback if you like. I don't really get much feedback, so thank you for watching, and have an absolutely incredible day.